Well, hey there, here we are on day 3 of Holy Week. I hope everything is going well for you as we continue this journey with Jesus to the cross. Again, if you need anything during this time, please remember to reach out. Your church family certainly is still here if you need anything. But as we continue on, we get to day 3, we're going to continue reading in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 22, and we're going to start in verse 39, and we're going to read 39 through 65. And let's remember what's happened. Jesus has told his disciples, go prepare a place so we can celebrate the Passover one last time. And they go and they have that meal in the upper room. Jesus essentially points out that Peter is going to deny him 3 times and that Judas is going to betray him. And so all that goes on. And then we get to verse 39 in our reading, and it says this. Leaving there, he went, and as he so often did, he went to the Mount of Olives. The disciples followed him, and when they arrived at the place, he said, pray that you don't give in to temptation. He pulled away from them about a stone's throw, and he knelt down, and he prayed, Father, remove this cup from me, but please, not what I want. What do you want? And at once an angel from heaven was at his side, strengthening him. He prayed on all the harder. Sweat wrung from him like drops of blood pouring off his face. He got up from prayer, and he went back to the disciples and found them asleep, drugged by grief. And he said, what business do you have sleeping? Get up, pray so that you won't give in to temptation. No sooner were the words out of his mouth than a crowd showed up. And Judas, one from the 12, was in the lead. He came right up to Jesus to kiss him. And Jesus said, Judas, you would betray the Son of Man with a kiss? And when those with him saw what was happening, they said, Master, shall we fight? And one of them took a swing at the chief priest's servant and cut off his right ear. But Jesus said, let them be, even in this. And then touching the servant's ear, he healed him. And Jesus spoke to those who had come, the high priests, temple police, religious leaders. What is this? Jumping me with swords and clubs as if I were a dangerous criminal? Day after day I have been with you in the temple, and you've not so much as lifted a hand against me. But do it your way. It's a dark night. It's a dark hour. Arresting Jesus, they marched him off and took him into the house of the chief priest. Peter followed by a safe distance. And in the middle of the courtyard, some people had started a fire and they were sitting around it, trying to keep warm. One of the serving maids sitting at the fire noticed him, and then a second look, and then said, this man was with him. But Peter denied it. Woman, I don't even know him. A short time later, someone else noticed him and said, you're one of them. But Peter denied it. Man, I am not. About an hour later, someone else spoke up, really adamant. He's got to be one of them. He's got Galilean written all over him. But Peter said, man, I don't know what you're talking about. And at that very moment, the last word hardly off his lips, a rooster crowed. Just then the master turned and looked at Peter. Peter remembered what the master had said to him, that before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. And Peter went out And he cried and cried and cried. The men in charge of Jesus began poking fun at him, slapping him around. And they put a blindfold on him and taunted him. "Who hit you that time?" They were having a grand time with him. So here you have Jesus goes out to the garden to pray. He wants his friends, he wants essentially his church family to pray with him, and they all fall asleep. Yet an angel comes down and comforts him. But what's Jesus asking? "Lord, take this cup from me, but really, Lord, let it be what do you want. What do you want, Lord? Not what I want." An amazing picture this is, and Jesus is arrested, and Peter denies him, and they start making fun of Jesus, and they start slapping him around and taunting him. "Who hit you that time? Ha ha ha. You don't know everything. How can you be God? Ha ha ha." It's hilarious, right? And so as we leave our reading for the day, that's where we're going to leave off, and we will pick up right there tomorrow. I do pray everything is going well for you on this Wednesday.